All right, so under the THC support, we're going to go over a couple of different settings and methods to make sure that our THC actually works on our right CNC plasma table. Make sure that you do turn the THC button on, as we just did right there. Not turning it on will make, well, it'll make your THC ineffective when you're trying to use it. Um, you're also going to notice that we're going to have THC setting of 80, a THC max of 5, and a THC min of -2. Most of the time, we just set the THC min to 0. And there's specific explanations for that. We'll actually go into that later. The other setting that we're going to deal with here, and we're going to go ahead and scroll over there, is the THC min speed at 60. I do want to also mention that in order to get -2, there's a little bit of text programming involved where you have to go into a separate file. It's complicated, and it's something that we're going to be including in future renditions of our THC support. In this case here, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our THC cable from our control box. And I do want you to make sure that you turn off the control box before you unplug the THC cable. Now we're using the THC differently when we're disconnecting the cable from the machine. We're using it as a voltage reader from our plasma cutter. Now we're going to go ahead and set up for the cut now that we have our THC disconnected from our control box, but still connected to our plasma cutter. There's a couple of, oh, here we go. We're going to go ahead and set our height and make sure that our program is loaded. I'm going to be supplying you with a file. So, it's a 24-inch straight line. This allows us to evaluate the average voltage for your cut. So if you know what type of cut you're using, if you know what kind of material you're using, and the hypertherm in this case, cut settings for perfect height, we're going to go ahead and start the cut. So go ahead and take a look. We're going to take a keen eye on our THC that's at the top right of the screen as we're getting our cut started. Here we go. It's going to touch off sequence, and here's the cut. Now, the initial pierce we don't have to worry about, but I want you to notice that without the THC, the average voltage that it's reading is 94 to 97. So that's without the THC being involved. And if you look at that cut actually does cut all the way through the material. So we're going to go ahead and reattach our THC now that we know the average voltage for a clean and complete cut. We're going to connect our THC. And we're going to go ahead and physically set our THC using the up and down buttons on it to the voltage that we desire here. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, in this case, we're at 100. We're going to set ours to 98 because that's where we're noticing our average. And now it's set and ready for cutting. Now we'll wait 1 second here. Alrighty. Now we're going to use that setting. Now that the THC is plugged in, we turn our THC button on. Make sure that's activated. Make sure that when you were connecting the THC, that everything is turned on for this cut. And here we go. Touch off sequence. Now what you're not going to be able to see here is now it's regulating it. It's actually going up and down a little based on the voltage, adjusting for that height, just as we want the THC to do. So go ahead and give that a shot. I'm going to go ahead and include a 24-inch file, or if you want to make one yourself, feel free. But this is the basics of a THC test in order to get our machine set. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, but this is just a simple way to get us started. Oh, and also I do want to mention, you can adjust your THC on the fly when it's plugged into the system. That is to say, in the middle of a cut, you can press the up button if you're noticing that your THC is diving too close to the material, we press the up button mid-cut and it adjusts that on the fly. Same thing if you started to notice that it's raising off the material, you can actually hit the down button on the THC in order to get it to fix mid-cut so you don't completely ruin a piece of material and or ruin your consumables in just a single cut. So just take that into consideration as you are testing out your THC. And again, reach out if you have any questions. Thank you much.